Hey YouTube, today I was gonna tell a story about the beauty of getting lost and the wonder to be found in strangers. So I had an opportunity many years ago when I was I think I was around 20 years old, to go travel to Ireland for a study abroad. It was a very cheap program. I sold my things to go. It was just an opportunity I couldn't turn down. And so when I got there, I didn't really know anyone other than my fellow American students who I had my classes with and therefore formed a social group with. And so we would go out together. We would spend time at pubs, clubs, and all of that fun stuff. But, you know, it was interesting because I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed going out, and I was always kind of a people pleaser back then. So I just wanted to have fun with everyone. And then a really amazing thing kind of happened, and that is a terrible night where I made a fool of myself. We went out drinking, and I drank too much, and I made a mess of an Uber, and at that point, I kind of got cut out of my friend group, even though I made it right and I paid for my mistake and I apologized. Didn't matter, and I kind of got ostracized from that friend group. And several of them, really made it apparent that I was unwanted, and so I had no one again. So I started getting lost on purpose. I had nowhere to be other than class and no one to hang out with after, so why not just get lost? So I had a notebook and a camera, and I would just walk around the city of Dublin, taking a side street, discovering a new canal, finding a new bridge, taking the bus to a random stop. And I remember I took a train, the northbound sort of tram they have there in Dublin, all the way to the furthest northern stop, which was Howth. It's like a fishing village, and it's a beautiful town, very small, very good community, kind people, and I ran into a stranger there. His name was John. John is an amazing person. I'm actually going to link his Facebook page for his walking tours below because he's just a gem. He's just an older gentleman who loves meeting strangers, so he just walks around the cliffs of Howth giving a free guided walking tour. If you want to donate or get involved, he's obviously happy. There's my cat. He's obviously happy to, engage with that, and he will even have a deal to, take you to a pub for a much cheaper meal. But he's just a kind guy, and he does it because he likes to meet people. And I remember sitting with him, and he said something to me that I never forget. And he said, when you go to a pub or just anywhere in life, if the person to your left won't talk to you, the person to your right is almost assured to. And that was a really good lesson for someone that was alone, because it gave me the courage I needed to just start talking to strangers. Who cares about the rejection of it? Just walk up and say hi, especially if you hear something that you might relate with, or you think that they're wearing something really cool, or you just find that you're both in awe of the same thing. Why not connect? So I started walking around and just meeting strangers. I met a really wonderful foreign exchange student as well from Oman, who took me to my first Middle Eastern restaurant, an Afghani restaurant, and blew my mind. And I got to learn about his faith, Islam, and watch him practice it when we went on a day trip to Galway, and that was really beautiful to see. I got to meet people in a lot of the migrant neighborhoods of Dublin, especially that like southwest, west side of Dublin, where there was a lot of, Greeks, Jewish community, a lot of people that were coming from Turkey, and I got to engage with so many different people. And I remember on St. Patrick's Day, again, totally alone, and you're never more alone than when you're in a massive crowd. And I found these three women. They were all students as well from Belfast. They were all from different countries. One was from Sweden, one was from France, one was from Spain. And we immediately clicked and we started walking around together and talking, and I just had the most amazing conversations. And I think throughout this experience, what I started to learn was that strangers are really never that strange. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's always the safety precautions, and I get it as well if you come from a background where maybe you've experienced a trauma or you are maybe in a group of people that are more susceptible to aggression or violence. I can appreciate that, and I understand that, I kind of have a lot of privilege to, walk up to strangers and get away with more things. But that being said, in my experience, like most people are really welcoming when you just say, "Hi, how's your day?" They actually feel really fascinated that you care. And so I started doing that. And I started doing that a lot when I was out of this country. And when I came back, I tried to do it. And I think I got in my head about it. But over the years, I've built up that confidence again to just engage with strangers, because strangers are just potentially friends you haven't met yet. You know, always be aware, but never be afraid. That's a bit of advice my grandpa gave me. And so when you're out in life or you're on an adventure somewhere out of state, out of country, when you're just not in your own hometown and you are curious to live and learn, go get lost within reason, but go get lost. Take a street that you don't know and see where it goes. Maybe take a hiking trail and just follow the path. I got a really amazing opportunity to go down the Killarney Trail, which was a 3-day hike, and it crosses all of Ireland, pretty much across the southern strip. And in that trip, I saw so many beautiful things, which the thumbnail of this video is just this beautiful trail I found, and I just felt so lucky to have been open to those opportunities because I wasn't beholden to what other people wanted to do. I wasn't trapped by my doubt that it would be fun or I would be safe or that people would respond. I just did it. I just went out and got lost, and I made friends. And some of those friends I still have. I still talk to a few of the people I met on that journey. And even after I left Ireland and I went backpacking through the UK, the Netherlands, and Germany, I made a friend in every single place I went. Whether it was my friend George, a Greek gentleman from Athens who's living in London, or I stayed at a nudist's house in Amsterdam because they had a couch surfing gig and I wanted to stay for free. And he was just the kindest guy. His name was Odd. And I met the most lovely Australian family in Berlin that just like took me into their family, into their vacation. They were there visiting their son, who I found out was the bartender at the hostel hotel I was staying at. But they just took me in. They bought me food. They hung out with me. They engaged with me. The dad in particular really just enjoyed my company. And on that last leg of the trip, I ended up hanging out with just all these random people. I got to go to all these amazing weird places I would never have been, like a discotheque in East Berlin, old East Berlin. It's not blocked off anymore, but it certainly still had an old school vibe to it. And I just got to see these weird, amazing, and kind of beautiful things. And I got to engage with some people that I've never seen again. Many of them I don't remember their name, but I remember the conversations. And I'm sure maybe I'll go into detail about some of those encounters in a future video or other such similar stories. But I think the big takeaway that I'm trying to get at is go experience life. Go meet a stranger. If you see someone you think they look cool, go say hi. I like your top. Or oh, I heard you listening to this song. I love that band. Or I heard you talking about D&D. No way. I love D&D. Just engage with people. If you see an opportunity, don't be afraid. Just say hello. Worst that can happen is they say no, and then the person to your right is guaranteed to probably say yes. So just take a leap and go make a friend. And I think it'll probably work out pretty well for you if you try. Anyways, thank you for listening. Please do get engaged in the comments. Please do, if you can, do the scribes. I appreciate it. I have a new little end video thingy, so we'll figure out how that works. But this is all new, and it's exciting, and I appreciate the feedback I've gotten so far, and I'm going to keep going. So thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.